Yeah, yeah. Man, so Drama's my guy. So how my Gangsta Grillz mixtape came together was I've been knowing Drama for a while, just moving around in the industry. We've always crossed paths. We actually talked 2 years ago about doing a mixtape, and the original name of the project was called Nostalgia, and it was gonna be like all these old instrumentals and things that I grew up on, where I just go in and repurpose them and make them new. But as I kept creating and just kept making music and getting better as an artist, I felt like I can make a great body of work. You know, I'm somebody that's, you might not get it just by listening to one song, but if you got a full project, you might be able to, okay, I understand where he's coming from. I enjoy his music. I feel like I'm more of an album artist than a song artist. And me and Drama we spoke on that a lot. We talked about that a lot, and how not to make my music so rappy to where, you know, my freestyles go viral a lot. A lot of people know me from freestyling, but how do you take that momentum and put it in song format? How do you get people to listen to songs of this rather than you just rapping? And by us having those conversations, I felt like we presented a great body of work. We spent some time in New York where I was actually able to be in the studio with him while he did his takes and was talking his shit. Shout out to Drum. But I feel like we just, by having honest conversation, we made great music and we made a great project. My mentality of when I freestyle is one, say what hasn't been said, two, say what needs to be said, and three, find an angle that hasn't been taken. So I just recently did Funk Flex, right? And I spent about a day, maybe even 2 days, watching every single Funk Flex freestyle. And I would read the comments, every single one. And I would go to Instagram and read comments. And everybody always had like this bad taste in their mouth about what Flex said about Tupac a few years ago. So when I seen that, me being from the West, me being a Tupac fan, me growing up on Tupac, being inspired by Tupac. My auntie used to think Tupac was gonna be her boyfriend. The night he died, she cried and she said, they killed my boyfriend. And she never met him in her life, you know, but she had this attachment to Tupac. When I seen all that, I felt the responsibility to be the person to go up there and say something about it. But then it was also, okay, what needs to be said, right? What needs to be said is Flex, you know, he was wrong for that. But also, how can I say this in a respectful manner to where I'm not, you know, dissing Flex or like coming at him aggressively, because at the end of the day, Flex is a legend. And he's done a lot for the culture. He's done a lot for up-and-coming rappers, done a lot for myself. So I can't just go up there and disrespect him. So what's the angle, right? How do I angle this thing in a way to where he could digest it and he could feel like it's funny? And that's literally my three things I always think about when I go do these freestyles. Funkmaster Flex said he said a while ago, I think it was about 4 years ago, he was in the studio and he was talking about how Biggie never would have died if Tupac didn't lie, right? And he was like screaming like, he lied! Nobody wants to tell the truth, right? And he was just giving this whole scenario about the lie that Pac told and all these different things. And I feel where he was coming from, but I felt like it was a better way to have that conversation rather than just bashing him, you know? So it was to me, it was kind of like heartbreaking to hear him say that, because I'm a Tupac fan, being from the West. But at the same time, I don't know what went on back in the day. You know what I mean? I don't know what they went through. I don't know the things that Flex saw. So I can only be a fly on the wall in that conversation, but I can't express how I feel through a freestyle. But I can't say he's wrong, or I can't say what he said, he shouldn't have said it, because I don't know what he know and what he's seen. So I just had to come from my perspective of how I felt about his comments. For some reason, when it comes to me, I don't read my comments. I don't like reading them. I'm very passionate about what it is I do. Like last night I was on Twitter and I typed in Symba results take time just to see the response, right? And I must have read about 100 responses. Bunch of them. Everyone was, this album is phenomenal. I needed this. This is great music to listen to. There was one comment that said, this Symba album ain't for me. And it just fucked with me. It just bothered me. And that's okay for that person to feel that way. But I'm so passionate about what I do and put so much time into it. It's like, bro, I don't want to read that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know. Keep that to yourself. I go too hard to hear that. So I try not to read comments of my own things, but I read them of others. And that's probably an insecurity I have within self, but I'm learning. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Symba, and you checking out 24/7 HH.